about how to change activity when you're in pain or if you've injured yourself. When we injure ourselves, one of the first reactions is to be to pull back and change our activity level. Sometimes we stop everything and rest. But here's the thing, bed rest isn't always the best option. In fact, usually just modifying our activities is the best bet until we can get back to full activity. But how do you know what is the right movement and what's too much? In today's video, we're going to go through a couple of different diagnoses and what you can do to change activity until you're fully recovered. First is the Achilles tendinopathy. The Achilles is the tendon in the back of the ankle, and tendinopathy is when you have inflammation in the tendon. If this is a diagnosis you're working through, it tends to be a little more on the chronic side. Things that you can look at doing include decreasing working on hills, either running up or down, pause any jump work, same with speed work, only run for pain-free distances, and then try to avoid harder surfaces like concrete or sidewalks. Working in the water can be great for this because you're taking some pressure off of the joints. So doing some swimming or some water aerobics can be a great choice. Icing after activity can definitely help in this situation, as well as stretching while tolerated, and looking into good shoes or orthotics if needed. Next is the ankle sprain. These tend to be pretty acute and short term, unless you are one of those people that likes to sprain your ankle at least a few times a year. So one of the few things that you can look into when dealing with an ankle sprain include pain-free movement, limiting weight bearing. This could look like crutches for a couple of days. Avoid lateral movements or side-to-side movements, which can put pressure on the outside or inside of the ankle that might be sprained. We'll look at avoid uneven surfaces, as the ankle is a little unstable at this point. Carpal tunnel, so that's when we have some compression of the nerve in the carpal tunnel in this part of the wrist here, so we get some numbness, tingling, or pain in these three fingers. We want to reduce repetitive use of the hands or wrists. This might be difficult if your job includes a lot of typing, writing, that sort of stuff. We should also look at reducing gripping and grasping. If you use a lot of vibratory tools like a jackhammer at work, try to see if you can reduce using that as well. Things like weightlifting and cycling can also aggravate this just from wrist positions. So perhaps look at modifying your wrist position when you are doing these movements so you're not in a hyper extended position like this. Night splints are also a good idea to relieve pain, just keeping your wrist nice and neutral. Frozen shoulder. So this is a chronic issue that a lot of people will deal with, and unfortunately it's something we don't 100% understand yet. But if this is a diagnosis that you have, here are some things that you can try to reduce any issues and help healing. Avoid long rest periods. Keeping a frozen shoulder still is actually worse and can prolong the frozen part of the frozen shoulder. Sleeping on the opposite side if you are a side sleeper, and stay away from any crazy, ballistic, uncontrolled stretching. Do everything with intent. Next, we're going to talk about IT band syndrome. So the IT band is the band of fascia on the outside of your leg from your hip to your knee. If you've been diagnosed with this, look at activities that restrict the movements that make it worse. Avoid running, walking, that sort of thing on really hard surfaces, again, like concrete or sidewalks. Reduce distance running as well as hill running. So either shortening your runs or trying softer trail runs without hills would be a good choice if you're a runner. Icing after activity is also a good one for this. On the outside of the knee is usually where the pain will be, and looking at orthotics or proper shoe fitting will be also important if you are someone who likes to run a lot and has this issue. Low back pain. So this is something 90% of the population will deal with at some point in their life. So what are some things that you can do to keep movement going? Try to avoid flexion or bending first thing in the morning. Do some light, gentle stretching, nothing too crazy or too fast when you first get up. Give your muscles a chance to wake up. Make sure you're lifting with proper biomechanics. A lot of us just go and lift something without thinking about it, or twist and do something, and that's usually how people find their way into my office. Another thing that you can do is a lot of breath work and movement work to help make sure your back is nice, stable, and strong, and you know how to protect your spine when you are lifting or twisting or doing stuff like that. Shin splints, so this is pain in the front or the shin part of the leg below the knee. Rest is one of the things that we can do to help, which is tough for runners, but it can help with something like shin splints. Making sure you warm up sufficiently and don't push too long in too long of runs. Again, getting the right shoes, getting orthotics fitted if needed can be super helpful. TMJD, or temporal mandibular joint dysfunction, that's the jaw joint right here, can be super common in a lot of people and cause a lot of headaches and neck pain. If you do have issues with jaw pain, avoid chewing on hard objects like ice, or if you're a pen chewer, those sorts of things. Reduce or stop chewing gum if you're a gum chewer, and avoid hard chewy foods like hard chewy candies, that sort of thing. Also try to avoid resting your chin on your hand like this, which is super hard because I know that's how I do spend a lot of my days like this. It can put undue pressure on the jaw as well. So guys, those are some diagnoses and some different things you can do to help with the healing process, but still keep moving when you have something like that. A lot of them are more chronic, so it is a good idea to have an appointment with a chiropractor or a physiotherapist or someone like that that can help you through the process and not only help with the healing in the clinic, but also help you with the right exercises and the right movements outside of the clinic. If you have any further questions, drop them in the comments below.